6 o'clock, call this meeting to order, 6 o'clock. Start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's keep going on along. Go ahead and do roll call. All right, after that, there's a brief discussion on attendance as well. So, first of all, Monica Salinas, not here. District 2, vacant. Chuy Olivares. Here. Myself, Didi Gonzalez. Joe Benavides, not here. District 5, vacant. Rick Laurel, not here. Arturo Dominguez. Here. All right. District 8, I'm sorry, vacant mayor, international banker, Mr. Quigg, lost him, vacant. LEDC, we're waiting on the replacement. Alpha, we have Juan Jose Garcia, okay, present. Luzma, we have Isaias Lopez. Here. Okay. All right. Laredo Manufacturers Association, vacant. And then Laredo Motor Carriers, Jerry Milano. Here. All right. No voting members. We have Juan Jose Garcia. Already had you on the other one, man. So they got you twice, right?
No, put me on as covering for
Carlos
Martinez
in
from
Alpha.
Oh, okay. I got you the other way around. Okay, good. Luis Montes de Oca.
Yes, sir. Luis Montes de Oca.
And then Juan Jose Garcia, you're down here, ANLD, Mexican Broker Association, okay? Asociación de Agentes Aduanales de Colombia, Eduardo Villarreal. Here. Okay, Codefront, vacant. ATC, Pedro Felipe Lozano Martinez. Here. Index, we have Victus here.
Here.
All right, got that in order. Okay, moving along, we had some absences. They're following on protocol right now. We only allowed 4 absences. And as of right now, we've lost 5 members. We lost Luis Hinojosa, Emilio Richer, David Quigg, Tony Arce, and Jerry Jason Hinojosa. So after that, right now we currently have 3 members that are with 3 absences. So next absence they're out, which is Monica Salinas, Don Chuy aquí, right beside me, and Joe Benavides. So they got 3 absences, so you can't have any more absences. So
Three.
yeah, 3, yeah. So all right. This I sent out an email. Then the city management went out there. They also sent out an email as well to let you know about your attendance. So just to sit there and follow up on that as well, because it's really important. We're here to sit there, participate in this, and provide our public comments. So hopefully we can maintain and continue participation, because we got a good group of people, and hopefully we get some quality people that sit there, refill, and maintain their obligation to this. All right. Any public citizens comments? No comments. All right. All right. Everybody has the minutes. Approval of the minutes. We have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second. Okay, Chuy. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposition? Okay, approval of minutes pass. Moving right along, items for discussion. All right, Elsa. Just for the record, Eduardo, you're up here, so we got you here. So Eduardo, he is president, Eduardo Villarreal, for Asociación de Agentes Aduanales de Colombia.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Elsa.
Good evening, Chairman and committee members of the Port of Entry. It's Hinojosa for the record from your Laredo Bridge Department. For under Roman numeral 6, items for discussion, we have discussion regarding selecting software and hardware providers for our bridge programs. As we move forward with these initiatives, it is crucial that we choose partners who can deliver reliable, efficient, and cost-effective solutions tailored to our needs and any other matters incident thereto. I know at the previous meeting in October, we brought up trying to get a different software vendor. What we're doing right now, we received a scope of work. We're working on the RFP, tailoring it to our needs. So we're working very closely with IT, And we should have, hopefully we have something, we can meet that next week. I know there's the holidays upcoming, but we want to plan to meet with IT in order to review all the scope of work for this RFP. So,
I was the one that put this item in the agenda. I've served in several committees, and like, for example, when y'all were looking for the director, the economic director back then, the committee helped out doing the selection. I thought it was a very good exercise. And the important part of this software is that we're the ones that use it, and we're the ones that look at it. And if we could have at least one or two members of this committee join that meeting so that they can look at what you all are trying to create, I think that would be pretty good for,
what we can do, once we have a draft RFP, it usually goes out on bids, as per procurement with purchasing, and as well with the help of city secretary for the city bids where they're submitted. But we'll tailor it. Once we have something, we can go ahead and involve you in those.
appreciate it. That would help a lot.
Good, don't you?
Elsa, you put out a call for a new, toll system, a new computer system for the toll bridge. Is there something that went out on advertisement or anything?
No, not yet. What we did, how do you call it? We had a company do like a study to ensure, not the operations, but the roadside, if there was any need for changes compared to what the current vendor is providing. They mentioned like 95% it's working with the vendor on the toll road, but they found two deficiencies, which I brought it up on the previous meeting. There's changes that we could make. The front office, which is also called the back office inside, those are where we're having some issues trying to upgrade the system. That is where the system is not compatible to new system that IT has.
Okay, so you're gonna upgrade the system,
We're talking about the whole.
the whole system?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so are you gonna use the same contractor that you have right now,
That's why we're gonna go out on RFPs.
Transcore?
We're gonna go out on RFPs.
You're gonna go with Transcore?
Well, that's why we wanna go on RFPs.
Because if it's gonna be an upgraded system and you're gonna use somebody else, don't you have to go out on specs, or
That's what we're doing. That's what we're working on the scope of work.
is that what you're?
Yes, sir.
Who's gonna create your specifications
IT
for?
provided a sample, so that's why we're working very closely. We're really gonna start to meet with them to do the scope of work, of what it entails. The current vendor has, since they have proprietary rights. So we don't have rights to our data right now.
Right.
So that makes it very difficult. So we're tailoring it to what are the needs, what we currently have, and what's the need that we currently are requesting from the current vendor. So it's just a scope of work that we need to review with IT in order to go out on RFPs. But right now, we're just tailoring the scope of work.
So basically, I think the staff had a concern about Transcore charging for everything that you requested or for every little change. By you upgrading the system, is that going to be cost effective, or is it going to be less costly or more costly? Do you know yet?
We don't know, that's why when we go out on RFPs, they will submit their bids, but it's for the whole system, inside and outside. Because we want to make sure, once we upgrade, whoever's the lowest bidder, that's how it works with the city, then we'll go with that and they'll provide their bids. But it's for the whole system. And as we speak as well, we're working on the contract. We're gonna review the contract from Transcore, because we do want to add some.
So you are gonna put out a request for proposals or a request for qualifications, or,
It's an RFP. We're gonna do an RFP.
and then do you have a timeline for that? When?
Like I told you, we're really gonna set up a meeting next week with IT to see what we can add and what are the needs.
Yeah,
From the
because,
current, what the current vendor provides and what are our needs and why we can't do this upgrades.
All right, because Transcore has a contract with you, and when was that going to end?
Okay, so, and right now is the right time to review it.
So it already ended?
No, usually it's in April. So we're gonna do right now, review it with IT to see what changes or anything that we need to incorporate as well, the needs for the city. Because right now, like I repeat, they have proprietary, they own all our data, but there's some stipulations that we want to add to the current agreement before we renew it.
So together, your IT department is going to do the specifications together with the staff,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
And just to refresh my memory, how much did you say they're charging monthly for doing the
Annually.
The annual is 1 million,
1
which is
million.
80-some thousand a month that we pay.
Hey, take out your check.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So, on item number 2, update regarding the location where Customs and Border Protection will light the road leading to the World Trade Bridge in Perla from Riverbank. We request the City of Laredo Engineering be present and any other matters incident too. So, I want to thank Mr. Elio de los Santos. He will provide you with an update.
Thanks. Thanks, Eddie.
Good afternoon, Chairman, committee members of the Port of Entry Advisory Committee. My name is Elio de los Santos. I'm the city engineer. Chairman, if I may open up a PDF to present the locations for the driveway that.
Please do so.
And I'm gonna go a little bit back in history because it's been a topic for discussion for several times. So the one you're seeing right now was the original driveway for this area, right, for the bridge. And going through the design as we do coordination with TxDOT, eventually it fell through and they said that it wasn't gonna go through, right, they didn't approve it. So we went with TxDOT. TxDOT, when we had the meeting, we met with CBP, and it's kind of, let me see if I can zoom in, I don't know if you can see it, option 1 and option 2. So when we had the meeting at the TxDOT office, we came up with option 1 and option 2, right? Those were the most feasible ones because we anticipated for those to be the most economical ones, right? We didn't see any utilities, any major stuff on the ground. The one that you see on your right side with the one marked with the X, at the beginning, that was one of the locations that was discussed. But when we went out to the site, staff went out there and they saw that there was some drainage, right? So whenever we see drainage, we tend to stay away from it because that implies, relocating, regrading, digging, more than 12 inches. So we make that recommendation to CBP to select from option 1 and option 2, right? They came back and say, no, we want this option, which they mark with the next. So we're moving forward with this location, right? Right now, staff is coordinating with all utility companies since, and I'll show you what I'm referring to as far as the storm drain. So right here, there's a crane inlet where all that drainage water goes in there. So that's exactly what the location that they selected for that road. So what we're gonna do right now is we have our staff coordinating with the utility companies, make sure that we have no underground utilities that could be in conflict before we start moving. So once we have that, we're doing all the survey work. And I'll be brief about it. I don't want to take too much time because I know everyone's busy. So in a nutshell, we anticipate to have this design complete within a month, maybe a month and a half, right? This project will be going out for bids through our procurement process. That typically takes about 21 days of advertisement, right? So maybe like another month before we get bids from contractors. Depending on the price that it comes up, right, the threshold, it might need to go to council for approval. But that'll be once we receive the bids, right? Our office will receive the bids, we'll coordinate with Bridge and look at the prices and see the available funding that we have, and then we'll make a determination to select the lowest bidder.
What's the number that needs to be over or under for council to get involved?
For now, it's 50. I believe right now it's 50,000. Anything below 50,000, the city manager has the authority to approve that contract. Anything over has to go to council.
Thank you.
Does it matter if it's going through the bridge budget? No.
No, because it's
Doesn't
going
matter.
through the City of Laredo procurement process. So what we're gonna be doing, I don't know if everyone's familiar, we advertise twice in the newspaper, right? 2 Sundays. After that, we have a pre-construction, pre-bid meeting. We invite the contractors that are registered through the system. And once they come in, we talk about the project, any questions, we address those questions to avoid any construction delays or overruns in prices, right? And then they'll have the deadline to submit their bids. We'll open the bids publicly. City secretary sends out an email, and everyone can look at the bids when they're open, and they'll read the bids as they are. They will not determine who's the lowest bidder, who will be selected. Engineering will review, make sure all the documents, all the bonds, all the numbers match up. And then, once we evaluate it, then we'll make a recommendation. Like I said, if it has to go to council, we'll make a recommendation to council. And it's a different, everyone's aware of the process of city council, so we'll put it in an agenda item if it has to go through that route. We're hoping that it's less than 50, obviously, but depending on what the market is, right, in construction, because the market right now prices are higher than before.
And your experience, do you think in 6 months it'll be ready?
6 months from now, or from the moment it's awarded? That's the question, right? I don't want to get into saying 6 months from now because I think it will take probably construction, probably maybe 2 to 3 months, hoping for it to sooner. Always like anything, weather permitting, and we don't want to impact any activities that are going on there through the bridge. We're hoping that it's sooner, right? But depending on if we get bids, I guess I'll let the board and the committee know that we have projects where contractors are not interested in projects, right? Because of the capacity. There's so much construction going on, warehouse, residential, other city projects that sometimes we have no bidders. So that may be something that we will have to rebid it again in hopes of getting another bidder come in. So it just depends how the market is at the time we advertise. We might get one bidder, we might get 5 or no. So that will have an impact on when we'll get it complete, right? Because if we have no contractors, obviously we can't get it out there. But we'll keep everyone involved. I'll keep Elsa aware of what's going on, and if there's need to, I can come and just give you a quick update of where we stand, and let you know how it goes.
Thank you, Eddie. Any additional comments, anybody?
Okay.
We're good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie.
Item number 3, update regarding the 4-5 bridge progress and any other matters incident thereto. As you know, Monday we had our council meeting. There was an executive session item, of course, behind closed doors, so we don't have any information. But what we did, we contacted the county. We contacted Mr. Lalo Uribe if they could provide us with an update, a timeline. So they just mentioned since their last conversation, they have met with Southwest Bridge representatives and legal teams twice on finalizing their partnership agreement with them. Until then, everything else remains the same. Discussions with TxDOT and their consultants continue so that all pieces are in place once the P3 is finalized. So that's the only information we received. So we've been in contact with them. They're still working with finalizing an agreement. But I believe and I know there's so much they can provide, but I don't have a specific timeline or detailed information as per Monday's council meeting. It was an executive session item.
Didn't Secretary say that everything's still on schedule, there's just nothing?
We've been in contact with the county. We've sent emails. They've provided us, but there's some information that they cannot disclose.
That permit is only for 5 years, right?
Correct.
Now, if you look at the progress that the city of Laredo is making on World Trade Bridge, it's within the 5 years, as far as opening the expansion. So,
I think Jerry helped out and sent some information, and we're looking at, well, we were, previous discussions, June of 28, right, so.
Yeah, well, I read it wrong, so it's until, it's June 28th, my bad, yes.
Okay.
And then they start the Columbia right after that.
It looks like timing was still good, but I'm sure this will be an agenda item again, just to follow up on an updated progress, because we had other meetings earlier, and that's one of the topics that they're discussing with, so, but thank you.
Being that it's a private bridge, I thought we were gonna get more information. Maybe they would come in.
They did say that since they're working on agreement, there's certain stuff they cannot.
Agreements
disclose.
between him and the engineers,
Between
private
yes,
owners
the
and-
private partnership. which is your P3.
Is anybody from the city working with them?
I have not been involved in those meetings. I don't have
Is
any
it the
information.
engineering department or just text up? That's it?
I will get that information, but
Okay.
I don't have any knowledge who was involved. I'm pretty sure management, but
Yeah,
I can find out for you.
I mean, it's gonna require quite a bit of infrastructure. So I'm pretty sure the city of Laredo is gonna probably get that infrastructure in there and then TechStop. But we haven't heard anything from them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why they had that executive session meeting, because they do want to follow up and, to requesting maybe a timeline on what's the status of the project.
Even Columbia Bridge is moving a lot quicker than this. Okay.
So next, item number 4, update regarding the toll bridge study progress and any other matters incident thereto. I will provide you with a letter memo from our city manager.
Oh,
If you would like for me to email it, please let
Thank
me
you.
know.
Sorry.
Thank you.
thank you.
So, the update, I just wanted to provide you more detailed information. So as you can read on the letter, and I will just read in the middle section, it's an update on the toll bridge, rate study and committee engagement. As previously mentioned in the previous meeting, we want to make sure we have your input. Through the middle section, it says, the city council has been briefed on the foundational elements of the study, including the long-standing 50-50 revenue allocation model, which dedicates half of the net bridge toll revenues to the general fund and half to bridge-related operations and infrastructure. The anticipated funding needs for capital projects totaling approximately $225 million, including a major bridge expansion, toll system modernization, and facility upgrades. The increasing strain on general fund services caused by growing cross-border traffic and the need to better align cost recovery with service demand. If you will read the letter, we're still working with management, city manager, with budget, with our finance department as well, and ourselves with Bridge, on finalizing something and having something for you all to review. Therefore, we found needed that we could provide you with the letter and an update. If you need me to read it, I will read it for the record, but it's just we were trying to keep you up to date and on where we are with this bridge toll rate. It hasn't been finalized. They provided, I know I told you in the previous meeting around December, but if you read the letter, they're still working on it. But that you all will be included. We need all your input on the stakeholder side to see what's convenient, what's gonna work, and moving forward, what's the need of the bridge as well in the whole city of Laredo. And of course, how it's gonna affect, the industry. So your input will be, of course, provided. And as our city manager mentioned, this was brought up to council as well. What is the vision and the mission of the bridge, and for this bridge toll rate increase. So they will be provided with a report or a study, but of course, they will provide all of your input, future date. So we just wanted to provide.
I'm glad you're providing the letter and everything, but we'd like to be out there at the meetings as well to
course.
provide input, because the thing about it is, reading the potential update, we appreciate that. But at the same time, I think some of our members have been fortunate enough to participate in some of the meetings, but if we can, have additional members participate, especially in the brokerage industry, I like to sit there and say, I know the Mexican brokerage industry as well, because I think you guys are dealing mainly with the transportation, right?
Yeah.
And if there's any additional members that can participate, because
No,
I think
and
we have a lot of
they
input.
will be allowing you all to provide any input as to a date or not when the information will be disseminated. If there will be a meeting, it's just an example, a workshop, town hall meeting, or a meeting with the industry that will be provided.
We had some discussion on this morning with the mayor and his son. I know one of the comments that was made, we're obviously acting in a reactive mode instead of a proactive. And I think it's a huge opportunity so we can make sure that we apply some of these funds and some of our needs right now. There's still a lot of infrastructure needs that we gotta work with to make sure that we can kind of use these funds in a manner where it's effective for our trade and our industry, so.
Of course. So first of all, I know we want to ensure that we have the funds available as well. We want to be able to, if any bonding or any funds, SIB loans to cover the expansions as well, everything will be incorporated. You know, the cost of both expansions, any upgrades to our technology on our system as well. Everything, we're looking into it as well, how it's going to affect the industry as well.
One of the things, if I may, Mr. Chairman, that we touched when we spoke to the mayor and management was that a resolution from 1988 is what dictates still today that 50% of the Bridgestone revenues are kept by the bridge for their operation cost, expenses, et cetera, and 50% goes to the general fund. And one of the comments we made to management and the mayor was exactly that. In 1998, that math was probably right. It added up. And the 50% that the bridge kept was more than enough to pay for all its bills and staff and everything. But in today's world, 27 years later, that math is something that we told them we want to revisit. That resolution from 1998 needs to be revisited. And we are very strong believers in the transportation world that the bridge's revenues should first pay for all the bridge's needs, expenses, projected future expenses before any funding is taken out. And of course, that's not an easy conversation to have with the finance department or them, but it's something that we brought to the table, and we should consider that as an option to look into things, because I don't think it's fair that 50% of it gets taken out and now the bridge is suffering because they need some of that funding to operate in 2025 and to continue to operate for the next 10, 20 years. So that's a key part of the conversations that we had with them. And, you know, how far is that going to take us? I don't know, but we will definitely continue that conversation because I think it's worth revisiting.
Right, the way it states that 50% just.
It's 50%. It doesn't have a.
It's never been that way. You know, back in '88, we still had streets that weren't paved. So, you know, we still didn't hit the bridge system on that. It didn't appear to hit it until we started. General fund started having problems with financing and police department and those type of things. That's when it started hitting the bridge system. But it could become a problem because if they anticipate that there's an increasing strain on the general fund because of the cross-border traffic, and basically wanting us, the bridge system, to pay for all of that, basically. And we need to keep an eye on that scenario, because if you take 50% off of it right off the bat, it's going to leave the bridge system at a disadvantage. And that could affect the bonding of the bonds that are going to pay the $250 million that are going to be spent in the future for expansion, new bridges. And if we're going to look at another bridge, you cannot put the bridge system in a situation where it's not going to be capable of paying for its own debt. And I think we need to be real careful with that.
The intention wasn't to lower it. The intention was for the bridge to keep whatever percentage it's needed. And let's throw a number. Let's say it's 75%. Then the bridge keeps 75%. And then you dip into the 25 that's left. That was the intention, because clearly 50% is not enough anymore. And that's fine. You know, times have changed. But we don't think it's fair that they take 50% of it off the bat and then have the bridge figure it out. Or that's when the conversation of we need to reach the bridge toes because, well, we don't have enough money. Well, you do, technically, if you left it alone.
Did you get a copy? I know you
We requested the copy. We have not been provided a copy of it yet. And it's not, unfortunately, it's not something that's online. resolution from 1998 that dictated.
I
the
can
fi-
provide you,
Oh,
if you need a copy.
yeah, thank you. I look for it online and that
No,
doesn't
I'll
go.
provide it.
It doesn't go that
I'll
far.
provide it
Yeah.
No, I know they
Yeah,
started.
times were different back then.
Yeah, yeah.
We
I
can
agree.
provide you with
Very
a copy.
different.
But that's why I feel
Anyway.
it's important to revisit it, because times have changed.
Yep.
Correct. And I know they will be looking into that as well. They'll be reviewing the resolution as well.
You might also want to go back into the financial archives and find out how much revenue the bridge system was making back in 1988. Maybe it was, I would say maybe in the 25, 30 million, maybe, compared
We should.
to what it makes now. But then again, the city has grown quite a bit,
And I know as
and the
president.
traffic has grown quite a bit.
Yeah, and I know there was a study back in 2018 that, from a consultant, and they expected that 5% per year, the traffic would increase. So we had to, how are we gonna alleviate this? And that's the reason we have those expansions.
If I may ask, when you're talking about the bridge, are you talking about all 4 bridges? Do they
All 4.
have different accounting systems, or do they all
We have
work
one
under
of-
the system of 50/50? And also, are they working on a deficit, or why is it that
No, we're
they're?
not. It's,
not?
we have a very, we're not in a deficit. We have a very,
Robust.
yes, we do. I don't want to use that word, but it's the total revenues for all 4 bridges.
All 4 bridges?
All 4.
Yes, the 80+ million is of all 4 bridges.
Correct.
And it includes pedestrians,
Pedestrians,
regular
non-commercial,
vehicles and
commercial.
commercials.
Also, what is your anticipated time, more or less, if you're gonna be looking at toll increases?
You mean when the study will be
Yeah, more or less.
finished? I know they have said December, but they were also wanted to work when your contracts or your, when you work with your customers as well, when you start your contracts and all the negotiations, they wanted to make sure they gave you ample time.
So one of the questions that they asked, or one of the things that we told them was, when they raised the bridge on the Mexico side in Colombia, for example, we use that as an example.
Yeah.
That became a reality Monday after Easter in April, right? And the majority of us operate under contracts with our customers. So if you do the math, according to the CBP numbers through Columbia Bridge, over 14,000 commercial vehicles cross northbound weekly. And if you do the 100 pesos times the exchange, $5 and change per truck, it's over $70,000 a week that toll is, it's being charged from us, the people that pay the tolls, the trucking companies.
Right.
And it's something that we are absorbing 100% right now, because we are under contract. So I can't call my customer the Wednesday after Easter and say, hey, now I have to pay an extra $5. I could do it, but they're gonna say, oh, great. Next year, when you rebid the business, make sure you include that in the bid. So they asked us, how did it work in our world, and we explained it. We do yearly bids, and if anything, if the conversation ends in having a bridge toll at some point, then we want to make sure that you know that, because we do our bids historically October, November, December, and if there's an increase in February, then we have to absorb it all the way until we rebid our business. So that was the whole logic or reasoning behind the bids and how our world works in transportation. For the most part, they're yearly bids for all of us.
Just for clarity, I know right now I heard you say 1,400 weekly, 1,400 daily, I think, right? That we're crossing 1,000.
No. On CBP, on the reports that they send for the whole week, Columbia northbound is 14,000 trucks.
14,000, yeah.
14,000 trucks, Columbia. World Trade Bridge is over 50, 54. I look at that every time they send it, sorry.
All right. Yeah, so any additional comments, anybody?
Only difference, we charge double of what they charge, so I don't think we should complain.
Well, it's a different country, it's a third world country, Arturo, so,
And third.
it's a different lifestyle, and it's a different, even payroll, I mean, you can't compare the cost of the US and the cost of Mexican employees. It's very different.
Yeah, but we charge double.
Yeah, we do, but that's the standard of living here, so I don't, it's true, but I don't think that should be considered, in my opinion.
The same bridge.
It's also, we're also considering, on the city side, the cost of living increases that we have on an annual basis. the insurance increase as well for employees, that's also incorporated, because that also affects our budget on an annual basis.
We're looking for further copy of the resolution so we can kind of see where we can revisit that, so thank you.
We'll
Appreciate
send it
that.
to you. Item number 5, discussion about a conversation with Laredo Police Department to help with traffic issues that have to be taken care of and any other matters incident thereto. At the last meeting, it was requested in reference to the U-turns, and we could ticket those, either the driver or the company itself, if we could ticket them. So we had staff, Kent assisted with that. I appreciate that. He spoke to Sergeant Victor Vicharelli on October 30th. His response was no, they cannot give out any type of citations when a U-turn is done. So, and I will, when we go into that report, the U-turn, I'll give you more information, but we addressed the question, we asked, they cannot be, we cannot give a ticket or cite them for a U-turn. On Roman numeral number 7, bridge staff reports. We'll go through our insufficient fund of U-turns. We did have a slight increase. Last meeting, your last report, we had a total of 127 total U-turns combined, Road Trade and Colombia. Road Trade had 115, which remained the same from last meeting at 0. Where we had the increase of those 7 U-turns was in Columbia Bridge. Last month we had 12. Right now we reported 19. And as you can see, we have a breakdown of all the accounts, you know, how many U-turns they had individually. A slight increase in the fund fees collected this month is $16,003. Compared to last month, we had $15,212.50, a difference of $790 and $50. We saw that increase. We've been working very closely with our marketing department as well as the contracted agency consultant for advertising called ADS Consulting. So we're seeing that we're trying to spread the word through social media, but the message gets lost as we're trying to send the same, not emails, but the same flyers, the same information. So this is the reason why we had a meeting with marketing department and the consultant for the advertising. We're gonna revamp. They're gonna help us out through social media in order to disseminate more information. We are working on an analysis report for U-turns. This will be provided to management. We're providing recommendations, and I know I have brought it up to you on how we can decrease. Either we penalize them, we let them go through, but we penalize them first, offense, second, third. We suspend accounts, or we tear it down depending on how many sticker tags they have. This is how much you need to have on your fund balance, you know, depending on the sticker tags provided per company. So we're gonna provide recommendations and options to management on this analysis. After we get a response, then we'll bring it up to you all for recommendations. We're really trying to disseminate the message. We have a campaign, and the options that we're providing to management, hopefully they can make some recommendations, same as you all, how we can try to minimize, or at least try to bring it to a 0, or at least, you know what, let's let them cross, but this fee will apply. You know, first time, second time, third. So we're really providing options in that analysis on how we can give you an answer and try to minimize this or stop, or maybe not have a U-turn, but let them pass. So, or tear it down. So, but we'll provide you with that information once we have the analysis.
On the overweights, is there still a $500 fee if you show up and you're overweight, and that automatically gets deducted and they are let through? So it would basically be the same thing, what you're suggesting, which I think is positive. You know, don't do the U-turn anymore, charge them the fee and then the $100, or I don't remember where we're at now. But I guess it will be interesting to if you can get a data, how many of those people that are charged those 500, I mean, worst case scenario, they never come back and pay it, because clearly if they don't have funds, they're gonna go negative, right? And if you have someone.
And then they close it out.
So that's probably, that could backfire quickly. So you know, when you do those 500, I mean, how many times a month, a quarter does somebody just say, I only had $80 for today and that was supposed to cover my border crossing, now I'm negative 420.
So we're hoping if we tear it down, whichever option is feasible, if we tear it down, X, Y, and Z company, you have so many sticker tags, this is how much you're supposed to have. You know, but we do it as per ordinance. Hopefully that would help, but we will provide those recommendations to management and we'll bring it to you for another recommendation. I'm trying to minimize, as it is, it's only 4 or 5 per day, but it does affect, you know, when we do the U-turns, they try to do it as fast as possible. And that analysis, we're also including what's the time frame, how many minutes does it take
To
for us to do a
actually
U-turn?
stop everything and get it going again.
Yeah, right now, we have, according to our numbers, 3 minutes. So, we're trying to expedite supervisors as well, staff, you know, and it's not that we like to do this U-turns, we're running our campaign, reminding, educating, you know, the customers as well. But, we're gonna order some, banners as well. We even, have the LED signs, before they get to the toll booth. We have them there, as a reminder, you know, this is how much we charge. Don't forget. So we're trying to let them know way before they get to that. I believe we have 2 signs, right, Ken? We have 2 signs before they get to the booth. Signage as well. We're done on our end, putting up on the empty signs as well. We're working on that on our end. We're done. We're just waiting for TxDOT side to finalize the agreement, you know, on that I-69 corridor on the gantry to have those empty signs as well. So it's on their end. We're waiting for the agreement to be finalized, but we're trying as much as we can to comply, especially on the empties. The signage is up. The empty lane on the asphalt has been repainted. So we have 4 signs and then another one on the gantry. So we're trying on our side, but we will have this finalized and provide this analysis and U-turn report to management.
Does Nuevo Laredo have this issue? You have no idea.
I don't have an answer for you.
Just
Sometime back, we had suggested if there could be a sensor that could read the balance before they get to the toll. You know how everybody has to
Right.
filter in under the little canopy? And apparently with the current system that we have, that wasn't an option. So, or maybe if you do evaluate the systems, that will be very helpful as soon as the truck, before it gets to the actual to the boat, to where he pays the toll, for a screen to show him his balance. And if it doesn't have enough, then maybe a red light turns off and your staff can see that and they automatically have to leave. You know, that could avoid some of the getting all the way to the front and then it doesn't have money and then stop everything to move it back.
And this is what we're trying and we'll incorporate and take into account in this study also that we're doing for our vendor, our current toll vendor. That's why we have to analyze and review the scope of work to make sure we account for all the issues that we have.
like the ABI that you have for the cars. You have lights, different lights, yellow.
And I know
medium,
the
low.
issue that we have with that, if you drive too close to the other car, it picks up. The current car in the front, it's gonna pick up the car behind you, the account. So there's so
Oh,
much
really?
space,
Oh,
and that's the
my
same issue we have with 18-wheelers as well. There's a gap or a different distance that you can't get too close to another trailer because it picks up the previous one. So if this one didn't have a balance, the other one did. So that's the issue we're also having, and we've been discussing with IT, what can we do, you know? So we'll incorporate all these issues we're having in the scope of work to see what works.
Thank you.
Very good.
And of course, you have your report on your auto replenished visuals. You have your commercial and your non-commercial accounts. We revamped a little bit of the graph because we ran out of space. So it's just a summary of the World Trade Bridge U-turns in Colombia. You have 115 for World Trade and the 19 U-turns for Colombia for October 2020. Next, we have your report from SEA, the monthly update for October on the Laredo World Trade Bridge expansion project. We're still at 95% on the environmental. I know we've had meetings and talks regarding the border wall as well. We're discussing some information, the concerns, is it gonna affect the construction? Is that gonna stall the construction? So those are some of the meetings we'll be having, so,
Do you know if we're gonna have that wall near our bridges?
I don't have an
An
answer.
idea.
Just the one for Colombia, I know we haven't started construction, so it's a perfect timing. I know they already started in Colombia, so they're reviewing all the plans and all that good stuff, but that's an answer that we don't have in reference to the border wall. But I know our consultant is reviewing all of that stuff with CBP, GSA. So as of right now, our only concern is to expedite the process on the environmental assessment. So hopefully we're done by this month, the end of this month with the environmental assessment, and that should expedite the process to get the FONSI, and that way we can get all the pertaining certifications to move forward with the construction. We're go out on bids and all that good stuff.
Talking about the environmental assessment, it looks like they're trying to develop an estimate cost for a noise wall. Where's that noise wall going?
I know it's still on the talks, and I know I cannot disclose as much because we do sign a form when we have meetings with CBP. So there's some information that we cannot disclose. So what they provide us in the report, those are the meetings we have with the Laredo team. But I know there's certain information that we cannot disclose when we have our meetings with CBP.
Is that something that's gonna affect the neighborhood? Because they're talking about a span, right, where the bridge, and they're talking about building a noise wall?
I can get you that information. Let me double check with the consultant what information I can provide you.
So they're gonna have to relocate water lines, electrical?
We still don't have that info. It's still under discussion, but they have not provided anything. But I can see what I can provide you at report or more information on that.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with it. A noise wall?
Yeah, it's on here on the paper, the SCA, on the environmental assessment. It says, also prepared to develop an estimate of the cost
Right.
of a public noise wall near the new northbound bridge. This will be critical to the determination of whether the building such noise wall is economically feasible. And so, we just, haven't caught us off guard.
Once we have the info, if it has to be billed or our consultant can provide us that information as well. And right now, as we all mentioned in the meeting and we meet with the consultant, right now it's a good time that we can still add it. If not, if it will be an extra cost, of course, Bridge will have to.
I mean, just for input, I know that when they were building World Trade Bridge, they were talking about the noise wall for the dog kennels that were right by there. But we don't know if it's for the dog kennels or for the buildings that are up there, just the housing that's right around the bridge. So it's just something that we're looking forward to.
So if you would allow me, if you need the information before our next meeting, I can email it to you all.
Really, that we
Can do
really
it.
appreciate it, so. Comments?
Is the Columbia Bridge already started their work?
We are having meetings. We're working already with floor plans and all that. They're already started with the environmental assessment.
So can we have a report from the Columbia Bridge?
Of course, I will see what they can provide, and we'll incorporate that report.
Because this is awesome, this is great, the one that,
I can request, let me see what our consultant can provide us, and if we can have a report for Colombia.
I appreciate, I know that it's a different engineering.
Yeah, that's with LJA, but we can get something. Let me double check if we can get a
Thank you.
report for the next.
Thank you.
Under Roman numeral, should have been 8.
Other business.
Our mistake. That should have been an 8, not a 7. We apologize. Under other business, reminder, as per city manager's directive to update all current board, committee, and commission member appointments for the city of Laredo, a residency and citizenship has been requested to be submitted by November 21st, 2025. This will reaffirm public confidence in the city's appointment process. So to give you some information, on November 3rd, 2025 City Council meeting, there was an agenda item under our council member Melissa Cigarroa. It's a discussion with possible action to amend the city code of ordinance to modify the current 5-year residency requirement for appointment to city boards, commissions, and committees, reducing it to 2-year residency requirement and any other matters incidental. With that being said, we were sending emails, if you could provide us with all that information, due this Friday, the 21st. On Monday's council meeting, that was a directive from our councilwoman Cigarroa on November 3rd. On Monday's meeting, November 17th, there was a public hearing and introductory ordinance. And this was an ordinance of the City of Laredo, Texas, to amend the ordinance as requested by council. The City of Laredo Priority Procedures Handbook for City Council and City Boards, Commissions, and Committees. Amend Roman numeral 1, Commissions and Board created by Charter. City of Laredo, 1995. So it gives you all the information of what's being amended. So it was going from 5 years to 2. But on Monday's council meeting, as per our city secretary, he was advised by staff to recommend to change the residency requirements from 2 years to 1. So instead of the 2, it's gonna be a 1 year to make it similar to the council members, a 1 year. So I appreciate all of those that have provided the information pending. We have Ms. Monica Salinas, Mr. Jesus Olivares, Mr. Carlos Martinez, and Mr. Jorge Cavazos. We removed the 5th person, Mr. Jerry Jason Hinojosa, due to absenteeism, so we're missing those 4. We would appreciate it if you can provide us with that residency and citizenship information, so we can provide that to.
I was in another committee meeting and they said they suspended that. I don't know. Or in the other committee that I was involved with, the Airport Advisory Committee, so I guess it has not been suspended then?
I'm
This
sorry,
request?
Suspend,
That they were gonna request additional information, or they're reviewing it, to provide additional information on the directive to provide the residency and citizenship. That's not been suspended, obviously, in this group.
no, if I understand your question, we still have to submit it. Is that what you're talking about for this?
Yeah, because I know
committee?
the other committee, they said they didn't, but now just, in this committee, you're requesting that we comply, and that we're lacking a couple of members.
Correct, yes, I apologize, yes, I thank all of you that have submitted. The names that I mentioned have not submitted proof of citizenship and residency.
I have a question. Like Mr. Gonzalez serves on 2 committees. Does he have to provide it just once, or he has to provide it to each committee?
To each committee,
Okay, thank you.
yes.
Thank you for clarification.
So I would appreciate if those that haven't submitted, if they can provide us with that information.
One of them here, Chewy. You're on the list. You're on the list to provide it.
So
For the next meeting.
for the next meeting,
So that's what I'm working on right now, so I'm working on my calendar.
Well, do we want to do one in December, or do we just,
And that's what I'm thinking about right now.
I know
because
last, we reviewed with staff last year, there was no meeting
yeah.
until January, but it's up to you all.
I'm just saying because it's busy for everybody, and it's, I think we will be okay, in my opinion, if we skip December and just do January 21st.
I agree with that. I think that would be because I want to just make sure I don't, should be in town, so, yeah. Would everybody propose January 21st as the meeting date that we have for Port of Entry? Okay, all in agreement, so January 21st.
Also, you're doing Thanksgiving for the employees at the
Yes, sir, tomorrow.
bridge?
Alright.
Is the board invited?
They only give us certain
They
funds
serve
to
some
buy
good
things.
turkey, guys.
Facilitate a lot of things, right?
You're welcome to bring the turkey.
So would that be, said any additional comments, anybody like to say anything? All right, motion adjourned.
Second.
Second.
Turtle, right? Suey, second. All in favor?
All right.
Adjourned
Thank you.
within the hour.